If you work in quality control at a candy factory, you know strict safety regulations come with the job. It's why you partner with Grainger. Grainger helps you find the high-quality and compliant products your business needs to inspect, detect, and help correct issues. And the sweetest part is, everyone gets a product that's as safe to eat as it is delicious. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hello, everyone. Friends, family. Welcome to Authenticity the Hard Way, YouTube channel and podcast. I am Asha Zalika, and it is an honor to sit here with you. I want to first and foremost thank you for your time. You could be anywhere else, you could be doing anything else, but you have chosen to sit with me. And I am grateful. I am very thankful. Happy Monday. That's the day that I'm recording this. But if it's not Monday when you watch it, happy whatever day of the week it is for you. And if it is not happy for you, I encourage you to make it happy. Only you can do that. Only you can change the things that you don't like. If it's not a happy day, stop. Figure out why and do everything in your power to change that. It's all in you. We have the power, the capability, the ability to make our lives as joyous and as prosperous as possible. And on the flip, we also have the power, the capability, and the ability to make our lives as miserable and disgusting and disturbing as we choose. I'm going to leave that there. That's not what I came out here to talk about today. I want to talk today about authenticity, about the evolution and transformation into becoming the next version of ourselves. I am still in this wonky place that I talked about in the previous episode. But it's not as voidy, I guess you could say. I feel a coming together. Like things are coming together. And the process of that happening was a process of knocking me out of where I was. So if you go on my Instagram, asha.zalika, you'll see where there was a span of time where I was uploading reels. Like I would sit for my morning communion and meditation, and I'd be meditating, and then I would just get this download or inspiration to speak on something. And they were coming every morning, and it was beautiful. The atmosphere in here. I love the early mornings before everyone gets up, even before the birds start chirping, because the world is still, and I'm better able to connect on a deeper level with God, my guides. And so it was just a beautiful experience each morning to sit in communion with the divine realm. And so it became my thing. Like, yes, I would go to bed excited, thinking about get my incense set, my candle set, just so I could get up get the coffee, light the candles, light my incense, and just sit. And every message that I received was, of course, to me first. And that's what happens. It was to me first. And then I share. Until out of the blue, which, of course, for me, for us, things happen out of the blue, but nothing happened. Nothing. Everything happens on time. There is no coincidence in anything. The messages just stop coming. The presence of spirit in here with me was just gone. It's just a void, and I'm not receiving. And that actually started maybe a week and a half before the complete void of 2 days ago. And so, because I like human being and I like the repetition, I like the routine of things happening. So I'd be sitting here trying to come up with something to do a reel about, which in and of itself is not bad, because I'm an inspirator. I'm a motivator. That's just in me. So I could just create something and put it up, and it would be beneficial. I'm not saying, because that's just, if I put myself into it, and my creativity, who I am, what I believe, and it's all about you. We'll get back to that, but everything that I am doing and have been doing since I was a little girl is always about taking care of other people. It's all about my purpose here at this time is to be of service. And that service as a caregiver, but also as a catalyst, if you will, for others to be able to live the lives they were intended to live. So it's not hard for me to do that. However, I wasn't coming up with anything actually authentic. And wisdom told me, just let it go. There's something else going on. And I did. And then there was the resurgence of authenticity the hard way. YouTube just rising. Let's get it up. Let's get started. It's time to move. It's time to do that. Now, the podcast has been up for 2 years. So I was, shame on me, I was still uploading to the podcast a couple episodes, but I didn't have the YouTube up. So that was unfulfilling. That's unfulfilling. And then the void. Like, okay, what am I supposed to be doing? I know in my previous episodes, like, I had a plan. I knew what I was supposed to be doing. Let's do this. Why can't I do this? But no, it was the block in the void. And now, as I have allowed myself, I got the revelation. I got the understanding that in the void, that void was, what keeps coming to me is a ladder, right? And you have the steps, but then there's this space in here, right? There's this space where you have to step 1 foot up, but you have not completed that step until you get the other foot up. And so it was in here. is where I was. It was just 1 foot here and 1 foot here, but I'm stuck here because I had started all my ideas on my projects were started. That was the step. But then there was still my foot here. So I had partial evolution, evolution, if you will. But in that void, in between the steps, there was transformation taking place in here and up here. And once I got out of the almost panic of being in this space where there's no communication, I'm not receiving anything, I can't feel anything. I am a very empathetic person. I am very not eyes, ears, sense, but spiritual stuff. I'm not feeling anything. I can't get a sense of anything. Once I got out of the panic of that and allowed myself, keyword, I should be writing these down, right? I should write this stuff down. Give me a minute, because hold on. What I say? I said, I forgot what I said. Once I got, this is me. So just, roll with it, because I don't know what's going to happen from minute to minute. Once I got out of the panic, and there it is, surrender. See, I know. Surrender. And I surrendered myself to the void. Hear what I'm saying? There was a panic, but it wasn't fear. It was just a panic of like, what am I supposed to be doing? This happened this time last year. Let me finish this thought. This happened exactly this time last year. The same exact scenario. I got up. I was ready for communion. I was ready to receive, and there was nothing. And it scared me, because that routine had become my days were based on what I received during my communion time. The tranquility, the serenity, the peace. I just would bask in that before getting up and going to work. Been doing that for years. That is my routine. However, because I was so mentally invested in it, when I couldn't receive anything, it scared me. Why? Because at that time, I was still coming out of survival mode. We had only been in our apartment 7 months, right? 7 months out of homelessness. So still in survival mode, still very much anchored in fear. Fear of what's going to happen next. And I had a meltdown. I really had a meltdown, which turned into a dark night of the soul for me. And my first order of the first thing that God told me to do was to put everything away. Put all your crystals away. Put all the incense away. Clear everything away. that also scared me because the energy that I received, the energy, the spirit of everything around me was my anchor. And I had to put it all away. That was hard because it was my routine. It was what I was used to. And we think, actually, I did do a podcast about it. I'll link the name of it because I'm not at that place yet in YouTube where I can link my podcast to it. I'm going to get there, though. Don't even trip. But I'm going to put it in the description so that you can go back and listen. And I think it's called The Trap of Spiritual Practices or something like that. But I had gotten so entrenched in the practice itself that when it was taken away from me, I fell into, I was unstable. Everything was unstable. I had to put everything back, put everything away, and create something new. Then, a year ago, fear gripped me when that happened. 2 days ago, when it happened, it was something's happening. It's no fear. No fear at all. But wisdom. Okay, Asha. Something's happening. Put everything away and surrender. Surrender and confidence in knowing that whatever is taking place is for your highest good. Because I've committed myself to evolution. I've committed myself to becoming the best person, the best being, human being, the best, most authentic version of myself possible. That has been my commitment. That is what I am committed to. And it's not for any accolade. It has nothing to do with material things. It has nothing to do with becoming a spiritual dynamo and I can call in money and I can manifest this, and has nothing to do with any of that. My commitment to becoming the best version of myself possible has everything to do with you and with the world at large, with human beings, with my species. And that has nothing to do with color. Just have to put that in there. Because I could say, I'm doing this for my people. And I am. But just not the color of the people. It's for every people, every body. That's why I push myself so hard. It's because I was there. Oh, that's good. That's good. It's because this is authenticity. I said I want to talk about authenticity. This is authenticity. It is because I was abused physically. I was molested. I was raped. I was abandoned. I was homeless. I was under the poverty line. I was bullied. I was an alcoholic. I was a drug addict. I was promiscuous. It's because I was hurt. And I went from hurt to here. A stronger, smarter, emotionally stable, emotionally intelligent, higher version of her. I transformed all of that in her to all of this here. I hope you get that. Authenticity the hard way is the journey of going from that person there. And I should put it down here, right? That person there, her there, full of fear, terror, confusion, doubt, low self-esteem, self-loathing, timid, doubtful. Here. To hear with the conviction, the courage, the audacity to look you in your face, kind of, and say, yes, you can become greater than you think possible. Being this woman that I am now was just a dream. Years ago. But I made a commitment. And now I'm here. Why? So that I could say, so I could throw you the lifeline. Catch it. Come on. I got you. I'm going to give you everything that I have. So that I'm lonely, isolated, alone, afraid to speak, literally, sometimes terrified to speak my opinion because I felt worthless and my opinion meant nothing. Just destitute in soul. And there was no one there to help me. I was around a lot of people, but there was no one there to help me. I worked with some beautiful young women last school year. And one thing that I would always say, they were younger than me, one thing I would always say is that I wish that when I was your age, I had someone telling me what I'm telling you. Back then, I wish I had somebody to look at me and say, girl, you can do this. You most definitely, you are greater than what you can't even see you right now. You can't see yourself because of the darkness that's around you. But on the other side of that darkness is a woman or a man that would blow your mind. And it's you. That's why I do what I do. That's why I'm here. And I know it. So anyway, back to the void. I'm back now. Let's pull myself back. This void did not terrify me like it did last year. I literally sat on my bed and I said, okay, I surrender. I think in my last video, I took everything on my little notes that I wrote down for 2025 being my breakthrough year, all my intentions, all my plans, and I did that on the video. Yeah, and I had it next to me. I was sitting there. As a matter of fact, it was after I did the video. And I said, okay, I surrender. What am I supposed to do? What do you want me to do? Because it's not my plan anyway. Because the second that I declared that I was getting on this journey and I was going to get from her to here, I surrendered my plan. Except for one. Now that I think about it, it was my plan to get back on stage again. That becoming a bodybuilder was my plan. That was my goal. Being an author was given to me. Spirit, God gave me that. Girl, you write. You're going to write. And since I was so committed to becoming a professional bodybuilder, to actually getting back on stage after I did my last competition at the age of 15, I wanted to get back on stage, and that was my goal. That's what kept me to 2022. Yeah. Then God told me, once you step on that stage, your life will be unrecognizable afterward. And I made it. I got back on that stage. 36 years, 34 years it took me to do it. And I did it. When I got on that stage, my life after that moment, unrecognizable. Completely different. But one thing that I did not consider was the fact that when that was spoken to me, it was spoken regarding the complete shift in my life. It took some time, but it happened. Like I had to unravel myself out of the goal of becoming a professional bodybuilder. And once I did that, there was a shift into what God's plan. My ultimate reason for being here. And that's this Authenticity the Hard Way, Revelations, Holistic Empowerment Training. That's what I'm doing now. But it took a while for me to get here, because I had to let go of my plan. So anyway, I surrendered. I'm just hour after hour, just doing nothing but surrendering. And then I felt the shift within the void. I felt it. I'm at a new place. I have evolved. That void was that space in here. And surrendering to it, throwing everything away. In doing that, I stepped up. That leg that was down here came up. And I can truly say, with all conviction and all understanding, that I have stepped into the next version of myself. I got it. I understand. And there is a calm in my soul because there's no, if you're into tarot, I learned tarot. I incorporate it in my practice. The page suit, the page of the suits. It's that. This is how I feel. The page is the youth. It's the excitement of youth. The let's do that. Let's do that. The courageousness to just step out there and do something. It's the what did I say? The page and the fool. Those two. This is okay. So if you are into tarot, you know that the wheel of fortune keeps turning. And if you're not in tarot, then I will say, okay, you know that we finish our cycles. Okay, we finish our cycles. The wheel of fortune is to finish it. It keeps turning. It keeps turning. It keeps turning. And I'm at that place where I have turned into a new revolution. Revolution means to spin. Revolution. I'm on a new spin. How about that? So I'm on a new spin or a new journey or the first steps into this version of myself, this new version. And what I feel like is like the fool who's ready to go on the adventure, not caring about what happened back there, because that doesn't even matter anymore. I see something and I'm going to get it. And the page is beginning the journey, and it's the excitement, it's the fresh ideas, it's all that, the youthfulness of it. That's where I am now. And I know that in and of itself, as I have gone back and had looked at my progression down through these last 4 years, I see the wheel spinning. Every year at this time, I step into a new, higher place. In my last episode, I explained that March 21st is actually the new year of the astrological cycle, earth cycle, nature, everything. It's the new year. It's new beginning. I get it. And here I am. How do I know that? Because I got the word yesterday. You need to stop doing what you was doing. It's time to change up your routine, or else you will stay in this void. You will stay stuck if you keep trying to do the same thing. It's not going to work. So I got up and I went for a run. Instead of lighting my candles and doing my regular routine, I went for a run, which is what I have been wanting to do forever. Just get up and go. This morning, excuse me, got up purposefully. Yesterday, it was spur of the moment. I got to get out here. I got to figure out what to do. So I went for a run. This morning, I'm actually been doing sporadically here and there, a 5K training plan. One of my goals. My goal is to run a 5K. Going to do that. So, what better way to start it, to continue it, is just get up and go. So this morning, I was at the track, 6:45, something like that. It's still dark. I did a video. Just look for it. New beginnings. New beginning. What's another tell sign that I am at a higher place is because it didn't take me 2 hours to think myself into sitting here doing this video. It just is automatic. I moved myself into doing this, and by the time I realized that this is what I was doing it. Natural. It's a natural thing now. It's what I'm supposed to be doing. And it's easy. It was not that, what am I going to, let me find everything to do instead of just doing it. That thing, right, the hesitation, no hesitation. None at all. No concern about anything but enjoying me. Enjoying being. I'm not saying I don't have stuff going on. I'm not saying that there's stuff that I could be concerned about. Always, it's just life, you know what I'm saying? It's life. Like, bills got to be paid, stuff. But there's not that, I got to deal with this now. Okay, how am I going to do this? Because no. Nope. This is what I'm supposed to do. I actually got up and got dressed. I'll pat myself on the shoulder. If you can go on my Instagram, and you'll see that all of my reels, and even my, I think my first video here on the YouTube, and even on the podcast, is my spot right there on the bed with my coffee right there. And, y'all can't see. I'm just pointing at this like I'm not finna touch this because I'm more messing up now. But anyway, on my bed, my pillows, my coffee, in my sleeping clothes, just chilling, speaking what's in here. But this has become in a blink of an eye. The content I'm trying to learn all this stuff, these words. The content that I'm supposed to be sharing is just in here, and I feel more, what's the word I want? More engaged with the process of sharing with you by getting up and presenting myself. It makes a difference. It makes a difference in your life and your day if you get up and you make your bed every day. It makes a difference in your life if you get up and you get dressed every day. Even if you get up, you shower, and you just, you put your little lounging clothes or whatever, but prepare yourself for the day. Prepare yourself for another day of living. With the mindset, today I'm going to live. Today is the best day of my life. Taking another step into this version of myself. The page, the fool, out for a journey. What we about to do now? Type of vibe. And it feels good. Authenticity. Becoming authenticity the hard way is a journey. The hard way is the journey through the darkness, through the pain, through the fear, through the voids, through the dark nights of the soul. And not just going through it, but engaging it. to grab a hold of the lessons to be learned, of tearing yourself apart, digging at yourself. That's the work. We have the sayings, trust the process, just do the work. Well, what's the work? What's the work of becoming this higher version? The work is tearing yourself apart. And generally, usually, those harsh experiences that we go through, the trauma, the heartache, the fear, are tearing away at us. It's ripping us apart. And if we can remember that everything happens for a reason, then when we go through those seasons, then we won't be derailed. Waking up into that void the other day was I had two choices. I could get terrified or I could stay confident. Because it's time for change. It's time for change. Doing the work means being hard on yourself. Why did you say that? Why did you think that? That was why am I eating at 10:30 at night? What is it that makes me just crave at 10:30? Am I emotionally eating? It's those kind of questions. Why? How come every time she walked by, my stomach hurt? Or I feel like this? Because something going on in here. The work, doing the work. Honestly and compassionately with yourself, to shed yourself from the thought processes that keep you limited, from the belief systems that have kept you bound. Excavating the soul, digging down deep into the mire and the darkness of your past and getting rid of, like you digging for a treasure. That treasure is you. If this might seem harsh, but I'm just going to say it because this is raw and it came to me. If somebody this is very harsh, if somebody that you love was stuck. Oh yeah, I just saw the little girl not too long ago fell in a well or fell into something. I just see they had to dig her out. That's what I'm trying to get to. Something you love or someone you love very much is stuck in a well, a ditch, whatever. And you are the only one that could save them. So you're going to do your best. You're going to find whatever. If you got to claw with your hands, you're going to claw until you get that loved one out. You need to have that same type of energy for yourself that you would have for somebody else. Period. You got to be willing to dig deep into the crap that you don't like, that's in your past. It's in your past, but it's in your pocket. Like you live with it, you walk with it every single day. You got to do the work. You got to get in there and excavate it. You got to get it out. That's the work. That's checking yourself. When you know good and well, you ain't had no business thinking what you just thought about her. Stop it. Y'all know what I'm saying. I think you get where I'm going. Authenticity the hard way. From her or him. There to here. I am very, very proud of myself. Because I can look back and remember when I was not. I can remember when I was so disgusted with myself that if I could just, in a room full of people, if I could just fold myself up and just shrink. Now I'm taking up space. And this has nothing to do with ego or pride, but it has everything to do with the fact that I know who I am. I'm proud of who I am. And I'm here to help. Because I got something to share. Yeah. It's time for you to give yourself the best that you can. I started out by saying, if I say happy Monday, and if your Monday or whatever day that you're watching this is not happy, it's your fault. And you deserve to be happy. Where you are, if you are not content and overjoyed, radically impressed with who you are, you got some work to do. Because you should wake up every day enthralled by yourself. The amount of greatness that is inside of you is unmeasurable. Immeasurable. It can't be measured. And you deserve to be that immeasurable being. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to be full of joy. You deserve to be full of light. It's your birthright. Now, what people would usually say, that sentence, it would be, you deserve to live in abundance. You deserve to have all the finest things that life could give to you. Yes. But what good is having all those things if you are miserable? That's another episode. That's another video. It's deep. Because materialism does not make you genuine. Being the most authentic version of yourself possible and living that being is what makes you genuine and what makes you of value in other people's lives. Thank you for spending time with me. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for hopefully laughing with me. This is the beginning of an amazing journey here. YouTube, podcast, whichever way you want to connect. And I'm learning these things. So grow with me as I grow with the YouTube channel and as the podcast continues to expand. We're doing this together. And I'm here. Comment, share, and come back.